but I didn't think this was gonna happen, and I didn't think I was gonna have the time that I have right now to do this. Kind of sneaking it in between like a couple things, and the well, you already saw the title. You already know what we're doing. You already know what it's about. What? Oh yeah. Say it with me. Marijuana. It's right, and we have a wait, son of a bitch! I'm totally unprepared for this, which will give you time to get your own stuff going, right? Well, no, if you already saw it, then you're probably chiefing it up right now. Yeah. So okay, so you have to wait for me now. Damn it! Wait, I think I got one. I had some kind of cherry tea, something, some kind of pre. I had a pre. Is this a pre? Does it say cherry D? Yes, it does. All right. Now we're talking. Why are we spending an episode? Mm, 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 mm. Oh my God. That's why. That's why we're going to dedicate an hour to this. No offense to anyone. Mm. But this is my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. Is that pathetic? Is it? I think there are worse things. But this is mine. And it has been since I was 14. This is when I tried it. I just shoved some kind of carcass from one of these pizza places. And it's not agreeing with me. It's a day old. It's a day old. Mm. But hopefully, I poured a little Pepsi Cola, and once I take a little of that down, I think it'll work its magic over the carcass that was. Um, it's my thing. It's my thing since I was 14, I think. First time. Can we talk about our first time inhaling marijuana smoke into our lungs and pushing it back out? Now, full disclosure, at the time, I think I started cigarettes too, kind of in the same time. But when I smoked cigarettes, for a while, I never inhaled them, like down into my throat, right? I always kept it in my mouth and then let go this garbage bag size plume of smoke, and it just looked weird. And I also thought at the time that you couldn't get cancer if you if you didn't inhale. Um, but then someone told me, "Oh, you can get mouth cancer," and I was like, "Ah, why don't I just look cool and actually inhale?" Um, yeah, cause that's cool. Cause that's cool, you smokers. And I bet I'm gonna, smokes are they're just as many carcinogens. There's just as many carcinogenic elements, and potentially even more than there are in cigarette smoke. Nobody's dying from pot smoking. Nobody. Nobody. Anybody who's dying from smoke, it's from the fucking cigarette, you fucking asshole. So I don't want to hear any of this shit. I don't want to hear any of it. Mm. Mm. 'Cause I know some of you might be judgmental. First time I smoked marijuana. Mm. Cherry D. Ooh. It's a fusion, y'all. Oh. It was in the seventh floor parking garage of a parking garage in downtown Miami, where I went to high school. And it was myself and two of my friends, cohorts, partners in crime. One the brainier one the definitely the funnier one, and I really didn't know I fit there. I was just the tallest one. I was the tall guy, and which is enough in high school, especially at a fucking what kind of a thing is it? Like like arts high school or whatever. It's like, let's get the tall guy, put him in the middle, and we could flank everybody from there. Seventh floor of the garage, and we were in this dude, my boy, like we just sat inside of it, and and the fucking parking garage staircase is all glass. So, I mean, from some vantage point or another, you probably could see the three of us sitting up against a wall, passing one of those old metal bowls, that like you screwed on one side or whatever. And if you were cool, you could kind of take off the plastic and like do your own kind of like drawings or whatever, and run it around like the shaft, the shaft of, is that called the shaft of a pipe? And yeah, because I remember a friend of mine gave me a pipe that he like drew some Rastafarian, and it was beautiful, and it wrapped around the innermost part of this bowl or whatever, and I kept it for the longest time. But those bowls are hard to hold on to when it comes to cleaning them out and shit. I think, or maybe I'm just lazy. We can get to that. I am not. I am not. You'd think for the thing that's the thing of my life, you would think that thing I would be so conscientious of and taken such good care of, and I don't. What does that say? What does it mean? Because I just don't. I think because the longest time I was broke, and I always let all my pipes, all my bowls or whatever, get all gunky, full of resin, because I didn't have money. If I didn't have money to get any real herb, I can just scoop out the resin one way or the other. And anybody, again, and it's probably the smokers will probably go, there's so much cancer cells in that resin, and how could you even smell so? It smells even worse than our cigarettes. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. It is propaganda put forth by the William Morris Agency. That's a casting agency. That's not the people who make cigarettes. Who are the people that make cigarettes? It's the Indians. That's not right either, right? Ah, jeez. I am not well. I honestly can't remember. Well, of course, I am having myself a fine cherry D, which does play on the short-term memory. Who are the Philip? Oh man, I just made you guys. I'm probably gonna have to go into the audio and turn that part down. Sorry, I just wigged out your fucking system or your ears or whatever the case. But I was really happy that I figured out what the name of the cigarette makers were. What the fuck was my point anyway? About the resin, yeah. We're still on my first time, and so I think I was already inhaling cigarettes, so I knew I couldn't. I knew I was like, I don't think, I knew I couldn't get away with just putting it in my mouth and just blowing it the other way, right? And they're so close. They're just right next to me. I think they flanked me, 'cause I'm the tall one. And all I remember was not really getting any sort of real hardcore effect from it. Except I was smiling. You know, the 1989 Batman, would Joker put all the chemicals and shit inside of the like grooming products and hair products and beauty products and all that stuff. And when they keeled over, they had a sort of smile smacked into their face. That was me. But I don't remember being stoned, right? Um, or like high. And maybe it's that thing I've brought this up recently, many a times, where maybe I just didn't know what it was like to be high, so it just kind of didn't happen. Like, I've probably used this example before, and it's a bullshit example because I don't think it's for real. But when the inhabitants of this land, they hadn't seen ships before, big ships or whatnot. So when the Europeans or the whoever's the others, the Spaniards, because I think he was a Spaniard, when they brought the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria, the indigenous people here couldn't really recognize. They didn't, since they didn't know what ships looked like. Their brain couldn't put together the information. They were going to need something else to play those ships against to order to then go, oh my God, look at what they are. And maybe that was my first high sensation. I just didn't have anything to measure it up against. That would bring the shape of the high to me. But that was about to change. Um, I don't know how many times I smoked after that. Uh, well, I want to say like I did, that I did, and I was okay, and there wasn't any real anxiety. I don't think back then, and but there was an instance where it turned on me, and so I had never gotten high by myself before. It was always at people with at school, and uh, I don't know why, but I decided I wanted to get a high by myself, or at least have my own, right? I want ownership over my high. So I remember getting it from a friend of mine. I think the sound's a little goofy right now. I think we had a little interference. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna check on it. Sounds good. I'm wearing headphones. Um, so I copped I guess like a nickel bag, maybe. I want to say it's a nickel bag. I want to feel like I just got $5 worth. But it was like it was a pretty fat sack. But still not one of those little plastic baggies. And I I brought it home, and there was no one home, and I don't think there was going to be anyone home for a long while. So I took it upon myself to, I don't know how, if I had gotten a pipe at that point, or I made a pipe out of something. Gosh, that's so weird. It has to be a gift, I think. Isn't like all of our first pipes like a gift? Somebody gives this to us. They're like, I just take this one. I just got this one, right? I think we can all relate to that. Um, mm, uh, so yeah, so I remember like crossing the street in downtown, right in front of my high school, and like crossing the street and getting it from him before he was walking down the other way to get to the uh, train station. And okay, yeah, so home by myself. Is that noise coming in from? Is there like a wind? A wind? Um, so I don't know how I did it, but I lit that herb up, and Oh, it is. It is coming in. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. We're doing this together. Like I think it's something right there. I think we should be fine. Well, we should be fine. Oh no, it's. I hear it. Shit. You know, this is the second time I've tried to do this podcast, and it's something always gets in my way. Hmm. Okay. I'm an idiot. I can edit this, but I'm not. You got to deal with it. Got to live with it. Uh, so I hit it. I hit it, and probably hit it a few more times. And the next thing I remember was I basically like got on this how do you call it? Like a track. Okay? So I would start in my bedroom, right? Hit it there. And then I had to walk out into my living room, out to the Florida room, sit in a rocking chair, turn on the television, watch the television for like a few seconds, shut off the television, get out of the rocking chair, walk across the room, walk across the living room, come back into my bedroom, and like repeat that. And I wasn't going back each time to hit it. I just like something tipped in inside of me and put me on this like rotating track. It's the strangest thing, and I hope I could see it still clear as day because it was still day, and I remember the oh, it's the fear that I I didn't know when it was going to end. I think I think when I got back to my bedroom, I was able to like hang on my bed for a second, but then I had to go right back out into the hallway, out into the thing, do the thing, put the TV on. It's the strangest thing. And at that point, I hadn't been diagnosed for anything. But at that point, maybe I should have. But now, here's the crazier thing. Okay, no, that wasn't even the end of it. Because I literally changed from that day forward. I don't know how to describe this. And I don't know why I continued smoking this herb. But I remember I would have lunch with a friend of mine, one of my partners in crime. There, we would go at the station, the wherever that thing is downtown, where the train comes. It's a big deal. Really cool, actually. Like really cool that was there. And then I was allowed to just walk around. It's so fucking crazy. The 90s. Holy shit. Now, we would always get the same food. We would go to this Chinese kiosk or whatever, and I would get the same thing, and probably like the sweet and sour chicken. And we would walk up. Sometimes somebody else would join us or whatever. Sometimes neither one of us wouldn't be there. But I remember sitting down out there, out on in this kind of outside court, concrete, like second, third floor, kind of a thing, but just but open. And I remember sitting there, looking at my friend, going, "Something's different." And you could go, "Oh, maybe you're still high from the day before," because I think this was the day before that It must have been right, because yeah, because I was seeing it off of that experience. So yeah, so I think chronologically, when I smoked by myself, it was the next day that I had this lunch with my boy, and that things were just a couple degrees off. I felt like I had disassociated myself from something I didn't know that I was stuck in. That was the pure uh, the pure born perceived reality that I was created with. I don't think I would have second guessed it until this thing happened, where it felt like I was behind something, like behind a kind of glass, and shoot the glass. Nobody knows that reference. It's all good because it makes me fucking makes me happy. Shoot the glass. I don't even do it well. I know. I did it twice and not well. But that was where maybe like anxiety was born in me or something, or something was awakened, or I don't know. Um, I can't. Yeah, how can I explain it? I wonder if anybody feels the same way, or has felt the same way about this in one regard or the other. It doesn't have to be pot, but it spooked me for a very long time, and I think, like, kind of like tinnitus of my sight, I had to get used to it, and it just becomes your next reality, your next new reality. And I think I can say that the veil sort of was lifted, and I got stuck, but I got brought back into the fold, into that born with fold, because I mean, I'm fucking crazy, dog, but that was spooky shit that happened, like interdimensional, like repositioning, and I continued. I don't know if I was that, like, wanting to be, wanting approval, wanting to fit in and everything. I just kept going, but I kept going, and it did get us into a little bit of trouble, and I was a part of. We got. I don't know, we're fucking idiots, but we decided, me and these other two guys, we decided that let's follow our friend here into like a building that has a staircase, but like in the building. Like, what the fuck are we thinking? We're like 17, like juniors. What are we doing? One of us made really good grades. And we decided to smoke this dude's blunt in this fucking building, like at a fifth or sixth floor of this office building. Like, anyone could come and fucking bust us. And strange thing is, I don't think we got kicked out. I think we smoked the blunt. And then, if it was a day or not sooner, I was called into the office, and somebody, apparently there was a video of us, security, security, that was a hard cure, security footage of us smoking that blunt. And I'm sitting in my principal's office, I'm going, if they have footage of us, they just like, why didn't they bust us then? Like, I don't understand. Do you have this footage? And I forget what they said, and then they said that somebody actually sold us out. Some fucking punk, I don't know what the fuck, sold us out. Somebody in our school like said like he was with us or something, and so I don't know. The whole thing was fucked up. It seemed like we found ourselves in a like being made an example of, which won't be the last time in my life, and that certainly wasn't the first time in my life either. But yeah, I remember being put on probation, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck off. Like, you guys are full of shit. and um, and oh yeah, that the principal, like he like the oh yeah. Oh man, he like made he like made fun of me or some shit in front of like the class that's out in public, like having lunch in downtown. I digress. I just remembered that. I was like, oh yeah, he like put me on blast in front of all these people and said something that wasn't even true just to make me look like a fool. But in the end, that guy actually uh he really wanted me to read William Blake, the poet. Like he made a point after I was fucking fired from school. Uh he still made a point to like get some like William Blake to me and everything. After everything, and you know, it's the strangest thing. Um that some people can be responsible for your demise, but at the same time have lifted you up in other ways. It's interesting. Um, Maybe not so interesting. What I know is getting less interesting is the flame on this cherry D. Mm, mm. I'm not looking to see how long I'm recording, so fuck it. We're just hanging out. Nobody's home. Got my work done. Mm. That's a really good time to do this too. Anyway, not the podcast. The getting fucking half. I think there's definitely a faction of my family that won't really care to see the word marijuana stretched across my face in some social media post. But none of them paying my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? No, they ain't paying my mortgage. See what I'm saying? So what the fuck? You know? Grow up. Grow up. Um, we're talking herb here, people. We're talking herb. You know? You know? There was a time when other things were cool. Today, not so much. Not so much. They could kill you. They could kill you today. I'm very happy I not do that. I don't do those anymore. I miss them. I miss all the good ones. The good ones. They had the powder. You know, they got the powder there, a little powder there. That's, you know. Pero it's a great thing about herb. Mm. Uh, I had swear to God, not a good podcaster. Uh, jeez, I literally didn't realize that I was still recording right now, but I did actually do some. Oh, where is it? First, here we go. Okay. Um, Shotguns were a thing, right? If you can get a shotgun with that girl that you liked or that boy that you liked, and you could innocently get a little that pot was it brought the girls to the yard, you know. You gotta admit it to yourselves that if you had the pie, you know, that's kind of what they wanted at that stage in life. And to get a shotguns are when you take the hit, and then through some contraption of your fingers, potentially, you could do all kind of like weird shit, especially if you don't want to like. If you're a guy, don't want to kiss a guy, or whatever. There's ways to avoid all of it. But like a true shotgun is really it's going raw. You know, it's taking that hit and then pressing your lips up against theirs. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing more fucking cool than taking up a little bud in the mouth there and delivering it to some girl or some guy that you got the hots for, and that was the way to get in. There's so many of these things that without them, we wouldn't move forward. as a people. That was my little thing about shotguns for a second, because I saw it was between a couple other things that I already did talk about. To edibles? Edibles. I believe I started baking edibles with my boy that I worked with. He, I think, had a little more. He had a little more experience, but I remember us getting about what you get, like an ounce of regs. No, we got Crip though, dude. I think. Oh, we got some Crip. Remember when Crip was just Crip? Crip. That's it. You got regs, you got Crip. That's it. That's it. That's it. And we did 3/4 of an ounce of Crip in these brownies. I don't know if these were 2 times or 1 time, because I don't know what my brain needs to do in order to bring these memories to the foreground. But I just remember us coming back from Best Buy, and if he and I could crawl into his dashboard, we would have, having just bought Jimi Hendrix's greatest hits. And if for the first time you want to eat some edibles, and if you had a choice in the first time, for the first time, what music you would listen to, Jimi Hendrix is not a bad fucking choice. Holy shit. Hey Joe, dun 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 dun. I mean, that's mapping out the genome to me. That bass line, that not even bass. He plays it. He plays that line. He plays that line. I had been high before. Hell, my fucking reality totally switched up on me in the strangest way of just like a couple degrees. But this was, what can I compare it to? Compare it? Compare it to? Compare it to? Oh. It's if your ears just started multiplying inside of your brain. That's what I know. It sounds disgusting. I don't have anything that that rolls from that, but that's exactly what it does. It amplifies. It multiplies. It electrifies. What is? Make him a safe laugh. But that's what it was. And then I remember getting home, right? And I put in this Pearl Jam Live DVD. And I remember getting up. I'm doing it right now. It's so weird I'm doing it right now. If it was like motion capture, like I'm motion capturing my own past memory thing here for you to view. I had a chair, and I was up on the first rung of the chair, and there was a second rung to it. So I guess it was kind of like a high chair, kind of in a way. But I remember, like, I wasn't afraid, but the band on stage were lit like, if you ever saw The Abyss, that movie, that underwater movie, and saw what those like what the aliens underneath the water looked like, that's kind of what, or like the little, like in Donnie Darko, the thing that connects to whatever time to whatever. They all had this glow to them, and I just remember like the thoughts of going, oh, these are gods, these are gods, no offense to anyone, but these are gods. And maybe that is true, uh in a way. And it was the most beautiful thing I saw, and I wasn't even really. I don't think I was so hardcore into them there. Maybe I was getting into them, but that really, because I remember there were some songs or whatnot of the bands that I hadn't really heard, and because they were cloaked in this like extraterrestrial silicone, they just took on a whole new meaning, which is hard. I find with music as you go along to it's harder to attach the emotion of the day, some sort of memory to things. Things can become a little bit more slippery. Actually, I think my next episode I'm gonna get into what I actually thought I was gonna get into it for this one, but apparently I just started talking about that. So we at it. We at it. We're in it. We're in it. We're halfway done, if not more. Uh, um, so that's where edibles came into my life, and I certainly had my green outs, from them, and I use with caution. Um, and w- a friend of mine and I were going to start a business of a certain. We had a banana bread, and uh, it was going to be our flagship model of edible to sell here somewhere for when it becomes legal. But because we both got girlfriends, we decided maybe we shouldn't do something that's so illegal. And it's still illegal, and at that time it was even more illegal. So, but we were gonna get into it, man. I was down. It was a way out of a few things, and a way into a lot more, and we were gonna do it. So, maybe, maybe sometime down the way. It was like no, what was it? No GMOs, no trans fats, no like everything, like it was a healthy, way to get high. Um, but yeah, and so now I'm just whatever about him. Haven't made anything. I don't think, and I get a couple things in the dispensary here and there, but they're not terribly great. Stuff out of town is, and stuff you do yourself is, but try to keep a low profile. That's good, Travis. Yeah, low profile. So what's the name of this podcast episode you got there going? That's gonna be next year. I have a medicinal card. I'm cool with the Florida. Florida got their cut from me. They be chilling, and I be good. I don't drive like it. Oh. Always have your prescriptions. I highly recommend it. I'm surprised I didn't put this down as something to talk about. But if you don't have your license and you think you're safe, yeah, it's gonna be that one time where, oh fuck, I forgot I had a pipe here, and I've had a few drinks, and the cop's a dick, and or whatever the case, that kind of thing. And if you had, he wasn't gonna get you for the drinks, but you have the pot, but you don't have a license for it. But if you do have a license for it, you know, there's not a lot that anyone can really do to you. Even though I've heard that they're trying to make, I heard they already have, that they teach like how to detect it in your when they pull you over. in your eyes or whatever. And I don't know how legal that shit is. And then I'm hearing that they're trying to find like a breathalyzer test for that shit. And I'm like, you could stop smoking pot and it still be in your system for months. It might have left your blood, but it didn't leave your hair. So I don't know if that detection thing can go. How long has this? Was this something they just took right now, a few hours earlier, or was this months ago? Just to whatever. That's fucking weird. I don't like it. Don't make me. They're already getting pretty squirrely with the laws. They don't like people having a certain amount at a certain time, so they've kind of like staggered um, your staggered your prescription. But let me tell you, man, all the bullshit. I was fucking 14 when I started when I started smoking pot. I'm 42. I maybe stopped for a couple years here and there or whatever. But as a 42-year-old, if you're not being responsible for your for what you imbibe, please be responsible for your kids or whoever. Just get the damn thing. It's like a couple $100. That's it. It's a couple $100. Like you're literally paying like cop insurance for like $200 for the year. Think of it that way, right? Yeah, like 225. It's like $75 for these people and fucking up $150 for the state. Whoa. I couldn't get Andrew Dice Clay. I couldn't find him. I wanted to. Uh, you know what? Yeah, let me fucking check. I'll do it. You don't have to. You just stay there. Don't look at the bottom of your thing. Don't look. Woo! Not too shabby. I'm getting an internal rhythm for this thing. Dabs. Do we all know what dabs are? Dabs are that glob, that delicious, glorious glob. Not even a glob. It's a globlet that you put on a little thing, a little. You can either vape it, or you can. You can do the whole take a needle, you stick it with the thing, you put the thing, and then it lights it, and then the smoke comes out. You just get the smoke with the dunk. Dabs to me are a little too much geometry or whatever. I've had it for the vapes, and it was cool, but I just never felt like I would get the intensity that doing it like off a needle or whatever. And not a neat. It's not it's not a needle. Okay? It's a little contraption because pot doesn't lead to crime. It leads to carpentry. Now, I did my first dab at my drummer boy's house. Yeah, I know. I'm not doing names and all this stuff. I'm making it my thing to not kind of do it. If it's fucking annoying, you know where to hit me up. Uh, I thank God I felt safe in where I was, because doing something like that, I mean, you're just dropping into just another level. It's not even a dimension thing. You're just dropping into another level. And some people, I guess, would say, why the fuck do you want to get that high? I say, why the fuck not? If you can. Especially if the worst thing that's going to happen is you're just going to kind of yawn and pass out. Maybe eat a lot of shit. That's about it. There's the 0.00000004 that are just, it's probably more, but just are allergic to it, and you should stay the fuck away from it. But for those adventurers who don't like to climb fucking mountains, all right? What they like to do is smoke a little fucking sap, sit in the backyard, get some sun, listen to fucking Radiohead, and take the day in like a blue-blooded. Who's blue-blooded? Is that a metaphor of his own? Blue-blooded. But then red blood is the fuck all that. Listen, you understand what I'm saying. All right, that's how these people transcend. And I understand it because if I could afford this stuff, that's the other thing. It's very concentrated and it's very expensive for very little. And that's another reason why I can't get behind it as much as I would, because there are definitely times where I could use not I could use. Ooh, that sounds like an optics behavior. And we don't. Um, Sometimes you want to hang on a little longer, and the flour just doesn't cut it, you know. So you dab it up. Mm. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just make it less expensive. So we could enjoy it more. I would certainly not be trying to do this all the time. Well, maybe that just proves my point. I should just get like a gram or something. Am I? Are we convincing? Are you convincing me? You're convincing me. I think you just convinced me to just pick up a little fucking yeah. Cause I wouldn't do it that much, right? Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. But because it's so expensive, I don't know what like strain to get and shit. You know, I can't imagine all the strains are the same. This cherry D Pre is just fucking delightful. So that's the dab dealer things. I think we played some music. I think I knocked a guitar back while we dabbed into some jamming module of some sort, and it was probably fun, and loved everyone to it, and we probably did some really cool things that might not have happened if we all hadn't have been kind of holding on to that same paper airplane that is the dab high. Oh, made no fucking sense. None. But I mean, what do you expect? I'm getting high with you. It's the only way to do it. Oh, it's telling me to practice Spanish. I've already done it. I've done it today. And in 3 days, I will have done Duolingo 300 days in a row. With some freezes. I'm not going to lie. I had some freezes. I had a freeze 2 nights ago. I was like, wait a minute, I did it in the morning. And if you want to fuck yourself up about like time, see when you miss things on Duolingo every day and you get a freeze and you go, whoa, wait a minute. There was a day between the both days? That can't be. But it can be, and it will, and it is for me. Because it was. Now, vaping. Vaping only works if I'm hitting somebody else's. I think that may be just the rule that when you get a vape, it doesn't it doesn't get charged, even though it is charged. It only takes another person's apparatus to get from, because I don't normally get like super fucking affected by my vape pen. I do use it as a crutch sometimes, and I don't know why. As a crutch, I don't know, I don't know, maybe from social shit or something. I'm doing something and it's just something to kind of do, and it gets in there and whatever. I don't know. But actually, this latest strain that I partook in is I think it's an indica, and I think that kind of cut through. I think the other two that I had recently were sativas, and sativas just they give me the energy, but I don't get just that little that little something that gets things crackling. So I'm kind of, I'm still experimenting on that tip, but I do love it for the it's accepted in society. You can be anywhere with the restaurants or thing. It's just that's what it is. And you know what? Even if I don't necessarily get like high off it, just like it's kind of rebel, just kind of rebel that you couldn't do this before. And I definitely do feel that about this. Like of having a vape pen, for sure, is just kind of like, I can do it like right here, and there, when you normally would have had to like take a bowl out, get your lighter, fucking pack the or whatever, or if you're hitting a joint, you're rolling a joint, whatever. The fact that bing, 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 you could do that with that, it's pretty cool. I'll figure out the, I'll figure out something that works. Uh, Not worked that's more effective with its potency because these things are supposed to be like potent, man. But then I hear that percentages isn't necessarily the whole thing either, which is weird. And I know you're going, oh, you probably just read it fucking wrong because you're fucking stoned. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm more astute. More astute. Especially because pot can give me anxiety and like kind of wake me up and be like, be on your shit, dude. Be on your shit. Be on your shit. And sometimes I need to be on my shit, be on my shit, be on my shit. I'm kind of racing through these because whatever. I guess. Can you smoke too much? Yes, you can. Well, that goes against everything I just said. This whole thing, right? That it's the worst thing that can happen is you just like yawn and pass out. But I think we could do a little disclaimer here and be responsible and say that for some people, this should stay away from their clutches because there's people with bipolarity that smoking too much pot can set them off into manic episodes. You know, there was a time I was coming off of something else after 10 or whew, let's say yeah, at least 10 years of abusing this particular ingredient. And I came off that, but I hit pot really hard, really hard. I remember having like several strains and just like rotating and rotating and rotating. So I had many different engines. I think in me, herbal engines, and I think, and coming off of what I was coming off of, I think that the two sort of hit, and there was an evening that I became extremely paranoid that something wrong was happening. Forget what it was exactly. I know you're vague enough, Travis. You forget even that. But I kind of do. I don't really know exactly. I just remember, my parents had to like sit me down on a couch and be like, "This is what's going on. This is the thing. You're okay." And what the fuck? and I think it wasn't long after that I had to check myself in and check myself out, actually, and start working on some other shit that still today I am still dancing in between the reverberations from that fucking stone in the water. And but you know what? Like, I don't really smoke that much. I know. It's like boring. Like, honestly. Like, I don't drink. I don't do other stuff that you guys shouldn't do either. Because there's stuff in that stuff that fucking kills you in a fucking grain. You know? In a grain. Sayonara. Just quit it. Quit it. Quit it. You didn't want to come to my funeral from all the shit I was doing. Well, I shaped the fuck up the best I can. You better not let me down. Um, oh. And also, what I am is honest with my doctors. Because I have a couple doctors. They prescribe me this stuff, and I have therapy and everything. And I don't tell them, I don't go, no, I don't do it. I let them know what the fuck. And I let them know if they want to take it away from me, they'll take it from my dying hands. Because it's my thing. It's the thing I got left. And I'm not here to harm nobody. And it's not here to harm no one either. And I just think as long as I engage it with respect, it shall too provide me with what it has for 25 years. And pot's always been there for me when nobody was, or nobody could be, or lot of reasons. And it's weird. I took you through a chronological and kind of topic based what is this ramble thing here, but I didn't really talk about how much I like it, did I? Well, I mean, in the beginning I was like, oh, I like it, it's my thing. But for me, things are great without it, but things are a little bit better with it. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and it's going to accompany me through the rest of it. As I surely hope so, because won't be my decision to take it away. I know I'm humming because we'll get into the thing. Because I was thinking, I was like, why haven't I spoken about how? I mean, yeah, because I said all this spooky shit. I'm a piece of shit, huh? That's weird. The way I'm talking is too. Pot has been there through the good times and the bad times. Damn. I guess it's like how do I describe my central nervous system right now and like celebrate it or so, you know? Yeah, I think it's that intrinsic. I do. And I think we all have our intric we all have our things that I don't think hurt anyone, but maybe we'd be judged by or something. I don't know. Could be you nerd out on something, or you know, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. I'm just really happy that the Earth came with it, because man, it wouldn't be like the best, you know, without it. Be good, be good. Look, I should have cut this off 5 minutes ago. I think I don't even know if I accomplished anything that Uh, mm, oh my god. Fuck that. We're getting high, right? I'm relighting this shit. Bro, you know how many people I wouldn't have met if I didn't smoke pot? Seriously, throughout my fucking 20s and 30s, are you kidding me? Especially for someone like me who's a fucking like social dipshit. Oh, I wouldn't have had maybe half of the experiences that I treasure in life because of but that happened literally happened through that, you know? Mm. Brings you together. Brings you together. And not in like in the other things that do things to your brain that alter your brain and shit like that, a lot of them start off good and really turn out bad. And this is the only thing that starts out good and just kind of gets better if it's your thing. If it agrees with you. When it agrees with me. All the times we listen to music with people, and we're smoking, we're passing the pipes, we're packing bowl, people are bringing different strains. I mean, just the strains alone. I mean, this thing has a whole like I don't know how people do their baseball stats thing like that. That I've got friends who know like who fucking pitched what in 1912, and then this guy he was out for one inning in 1957, and then the thing I'm going what the fuck? I'm like you didn't even get a high school education. How the fuck do you fucking like remember all that shit? And the closest thing. I mean, I had comic cards and shit, but like the real closest thing to feel like kind of a connoisseur is marijuana. I am giddy over the names of these fucking strains, man. I don't know if you are, but these things trip me the fuck out, and they keep coming. There's no end in sight. These awesome names keep coming, and then they make hybrids out of them. So the name of the one thing and the name of the other thing becomes of the next thing. It's incredible. It doesn't end. The permutations of this plant seem endless. Isn't that something? What can you say that about? Other than like an animal, right? Other than like an animal, right? Holy fuck, man. Isn't that something? So yeah, so I love it, and I know what it feels like because I can look at a dispensary menu on my phone and like scroll it. Like I look next to my wife and she's doing her Poshmark or her dolls kills or whatever the fuck, and she's going scrolling, and like now I have that to a certain extent. And that's so fucking cool. I don't even fucking buy it. I didn't know that girls, or at least like, but what I didn't know they just like put things in a cart and never really get them. But they just kind of put them just to see, and you think I do the same thing. I put in carts. Mm. I put in carts. I put in like a whole fucking thing of like, I'll take a little bit of this. I'll take this pre-roll, that. I get it. It's great. I don't have kids. Clearly. Clearly, I don't have kids. Well, there's some exuberance over the fucking topic of today's show. Jeez. It took me an hour or like 53 minutes or some shit to get to like the thing. This thing. Ugh. It's glorious. It's ancient. It's biblical. It's in everything. I really hope I don't close this out and fucking forget about something or whatever. I know these have been. No, you know what? I'm not gonna comment on my own. On my own. You know what? You know what? I am not going to comment on my own show. That is for you to fucking take it upon yourselves. To insult me or offer a suggestion or make a comment or what's the other thing? What do I say? What did I say there? It's in the fucking description. It's insult, suggestion, questions, questions. That's it. Yeah. And look, I you know if I was listening to this show, um, like if I was someone who listened to this show like a few times or whatnot, like I don't know, I'd maybe want to remain fucking anonymous too, dude. And, like some of this shit, I know a good deal of it's vague, but I am definitely willing to get deeper. Gonna get deeper. And more specific and shit, and I'll vet it through some friends and whatnot, make sure that nothing's gonna cut. But then um, I'm still having a hoot. I'm fucking. I just smoked. I wouldn't even have smoked this if we didn't have this thing right now. I would have like sat on it. Why? Because I'm a pleasure delayer. That's why. I like to have the shit. You know. I like knowing it's there. Because once you use it, then it's gone. But I think you guys did great for the first pot show. Um, there's gonna be second parts and third parts, I'm sure, to all this stuff. Hopefully, I get better and better. Um, and whatever the fuck this thing is, and Roig Rage Podcast at gmail.com. Hit me up. Did I just say hit me up? That's HMU, isn't it? Oh Jesus! Let's get away from this acronym first before we fucking call it quits. Okay? Okay. Yeah. So let's just kind of That's right. No, yeah, yeah. No, it's good. Okay, no, becomes a quarter. Okay. Let's end this show properly. Hey everyone. Thanks for listening. Roig Rage, oh. Roig Rage, oh.